The Great Bible, 2 Samuel, the 18th chapter. Absalom is overcome in battle. He hangeth by the hair in an oak. He is killed and put in a ditch. David is so sorrowful for the death of Absalom that he weepeth. The 18th chapter. And David numbered the people that were with him, and set captains of thousands and of hundreds over them. And David sent forth the third part of the people under the hand of Joab, and another part under the hand of Abishai, the son of Zeruiah, Joab's brother, and the other third part under the hand of Ittai the Gittite. And the king said unto the people, I will go with you also. And the people answered, Thou shalt not go forth, for if we flee, our adversaries will not care for us, neither shall they regard us, though half us were slain. But thou art worth 10,000 of us, wherefore it is better that thou succor us out of the city. And the king said unto them, What seemeth you best, that will I do. And the king stood by the gate side, and all the people came out by hundreds and by thousands. And the king commanded Joab and Abishai and Ittai, saying, Entreat the young man Absalom gently for my sake. And all the people heard that the king gave all the captains charge concerning Absalom. And so the people went out into the field against Israel, and the battle was in the wood of Ephraim, where the people of Israel were put to the worse before the servants of David. And there was a great slaughter that day, even of 20,000 men. For the field was fought there in divers places, all abroad upon the earth. And the wood devoured more people that day than did the sword. And Absalom came before the servants of David, riding upon a mule, which carried him under the thick boughs of a great oak. And his head was caught of the oak, and he was lifted up between heaven and earth. And the mule that was under him went his way. And one that saw it told Joab, saying, Behold, I saw Absalom hanging in an oak. And Joab said unto the man that told him, If thou didst see him, why didst not thou there smite him to the ground? And I would have given thee 10 sickles of silver and a girdle. The man said unto Joab, Though thou wouldest lay 1,000 sickles of silver in my hand, yet would I not stretch out mine hand against the king's son. For we heard with our ears when the king charged thee, and Abishai and Ittai, saying, Beware that none touch the young man Absalom. Moreover, if I had done it, I should have done against mine own life. For there is no matter hid from the king. Yea, and thou thyself wouldst have been against me. Then said Joab, I may not stand thus tarrying with thee. And he took 3 spears in his hand, and thrust them through Absalom, while he was yet alive on the body of the tree. And 10 servants that bare Joab's weapons turned, and smote Absalom, and slew him. And when Joab blew the trumpet, the people returned from following Israel, for Joab spared the people. And they took Absalom, and cast him into a great pit in the wood, and laid a mighty great heap of stones upon him. And all Israel fled to their tents. And this Absalom, yet in his lifetime, took counsel, and reared up a pillar, which is in King's Dale. For he said, I have no son. And therefore, to keep my name in remembrance, do I it. And he called the pillar after his own name, and it is called unto this day, Absalom's pillar. Then said Ahimaaz, the son of Zadok, Let me run now, and bear the king tidings, how that the Lord hath judged him quit of the hand of his enemies. And Joab said unto him, Thou art no man to bear good tidings today. Thou shalt bear tidings another time, but today thou shalt bear none, because the king's son is dead. Then said Joab to Cusi, Go and tell the king what thou hast seen. And Cusi bowed himself unto Joab, and ran. Then said Ahimaaz the son of Zadok again to Joab, Come what come will, let me also run after Cusi. And Joab said, Wherefore wilt thou run, my son, seeing that for the tidings thou shalt have no reward? Well, said he, come what will, let me run. He said unto him, Run. Then Ahimaaz ran by the plain way, and came before Cusi. And David sat between the two gates. And the watchman went up to the roof over the gate unto the wall, and lifted up his eyes, and saw, and behold, there came a man running alone. And the watchman cried, and told the king. And the king said, If he be alone, there is good tidings in his mouth. And he came and drew nigh. And the watchman saw another man running, and he called unto the porter, and said, Behold, there cometh another man running alone. And the king said, He is also a tidings bringer. And the watchman said, Methinketh the running of the foremost is like the running of Ahimaaz the son of Zadok. The king said, He is a good man, and cometh with good tidings. And Ahimaaz called, and said unto the king, Good tidings. And he fell down flat to the earth upon his face before the king, and said, Blessed be the Lord thy God, which hath shut up the men that lifted up their hands against my lord the king. And the king said, Is the young man Absalom safe? Ahimaaz answered, When Joab sent Cusi, the king's servant, and me thy servant, I saw much ado, but I wot not what it was. And the king said unto him, Turn, and stand here. And he turned and stood still. And behold, Cusi came also, and said, Good tidings, my lord the king, for the Lord hath quit thee this day out of the hand of all them that rose against thee. And the king said unto Cusi, Is the young man Absalom safe? Cusi answered, The enemies of my lord the king, and all that rise against thee, to do thee hurt, be as that young man is. And the king was moved, and went up to a chamber over the gate, and wept. And as he went, thus he said, O my son Absalom, my son Absalom, would God I had died for thee. O Absalom, my son, my son. The 19th chapter. David is restored to his kingdom, and brought again to Jerusalem. The 19th chapter. And it was told Joab, Behold, the king weepeth and mourneth for Absalom. And the victory of that day was turned into mourning unto all the people. For the people heard say that day, how the king sorrowed for his son. And the people stale away that day from going into the city, as people confounded steal away, when they flee in battle. But the king hid his face, and cried with a loud voice, O my son Absalom, O Absalom, my son, my son. And Joab came into the house to the king, and said, Thou hast shamed this day the faces of all thy servants, which this day have saved thy life, and the lives of thy sons and of thy daughters, and the lives of thy wives and of thy concubines, in that thou lovest thine enemies, and hatest thy friends. For thou hast declared this day that thou regardest neither thy lords nor servants. And this day I do perceive that if Absalom had lived, and all we had died this day, that had pleased thee well. Now therefore up, and come out, and speak kindly unto thy servants. For I swear by the Lord, except thou come out, there will not tarry one man with thee this night. And that will be worse unto thee than all the evil that fell on thee from thy youth unto this hour. Then the king arose and sat down in the gate. And they told unto all the people, saying, Behold, the king doth sit in the gate. And all the people came before the king. But Israel fled, every man to his tent. And it fortuned that all the people were at strife throughout all the tribes of Israel, saying, The king saved us out of the hand of our enemies. He delivered us out of the hand of the Philistines. And now he is fled out of the land for Absalom. But Absalom, whom we anointed over us, is dead in battle. Therefore, why are ye so still, that ye bring not the king again? And King David sent to Zadok and Abiathar the priests, saying, Speak unto the elders of Judah, and say, Why are ye behind, to bring the king again to his house, seeing that such tidings is come from all Israel unto the king even to his house? For the king had said, Thus shall ye say unto the people of Judah, Ye are my brethren, my bones, and my flesh. Wherefore then are ye the last that bring the king home again? And say ye to Amasa, Art thou not of my bone and of my flesh? God do so and so to me, if thou be not captain of the host to me forever in the room of Joab. And he bowed the hearts of all the men of Judah, even as the heart of one man, so that they sent this word to the king, Return thou with all thy servants. So the king returned and came to Jordan. And Judah came to Gilgal, for to go down to meet the king, and to convey him over Jordan. And Shimei, the son of Gera, the son of Gemini, which was of Bahurim, hasted, and came with the men of Judah to meet King David. And there were 1,000 men of Benjamin with him. And Ziba, the servant of the house of Saul, and his 15 sons, and 20 servants with him. And they went quickly over Jordan before the king. And there went over a boat that carried over the king's household, and they did him pleasure. And Shimei, the son of Gera, fell before the king, as he was come over Jordan, and said unto him, Let not my lord impute wickedness unto me, nor remember the things that thy servant did wickedly, when my lord the king departed out of Jerusalem, that the king should take it to heart. For thy servant doth know how that I have done amiss. And therefore, behold, I am the first this day of all the house of Joseph, that am come to go down to meet my lord the king. But Abisai, the son of Zeruiah, answered and said, Shall not Shimei die for this, because he cursed the Lord's anointed? And David said, What matter is between you and me, ye sons of Zeruiah? For this day ye be adversaries unto me. Shall there any man die this day in Israel? Do not I know that I am this day king over Israel? And therefore the king said unto Shimei, Thou shalt not die. And the king sware unto him. And Mephibosheth, the son of Saul, came also to meet the king, and had neither washed his feet, nor shaven his beard, nor washed his clothes from the time the king departed until he came again in peace. And it fortuned that when he was come to Jerusalem and met the king said unto him, Wherefore wentest not thou with me, Mephibosheth? He answered, My lord, O king, My servant deceived me. For thy servant said, I would have mine ass saddled to ride thereon, for to go to the king, because thy servant is lame. And Ziba hath falsely reported of thy servant unto my lord the king. And my lord the king is as an angel of God. Do therefore what seemeth good in thine eyes. For all my father's house were but dead men before my lord the king, and yet didst thou put thy servant among them, that did eat at thine own table. What right therefore have I yet to cry any more unto the king? And the king said unto him, Why speakest thou yet in thine own cause? It is determined that I have said, Thou and Ziba divide the lands between you. And Mephibosheth said unto the king, Yea, let him take all, for so much as my lord the king is come again in peace unto his own house. And Barzillai the Gileadite came down from Roglim, and went over Jordan with the king, to convey him over Jordan. Barzillai was a very aged man, even 80 years old, and provided the king of subsistence, while he lay at Mahanaim, for he was a man of very great substance. And the king said unto Barzillai, Come thou with me, and I will feed thee with me in Jerusalem. And Barzillai said unto the king, I am thus old, and how am I able to go up with the king unto Jerusalem? I am this day 80 years old, and can I discern between good and evil? Hath thy servant any taste in that he eateth or drinketh? Can he hear any more the voice of singing men and women? Wherefore then should thy servant be yet a burden unto my lord the king? Thy servant will go a little way over Jordan with the king. And why will the king recompense me with such a reward? O let thy servant turn back again, that I may die in mine own city, and be buried in the grave of my father and of my mother. Behold, here is thy servant, Chimeam. Let him go with my lord the king, and do to him what shall please thee. And the king answered, Chimeam shall go with me, and I will do to him that thou shalt be content with. And whatsoever thou shalt require of me, that same will I do for thee. And all the people went over Jordan. And when the king was come over Jordan, he kissed Barzillai, and blessed him, and he went back again unto his own place. And then the king went to Gilgal, and Chimeam went with him, and so did all the people of Judah, and brought over the king. And there were but half the men of Israel. And behold, all the men of Israel came to the king, and said unto him, Why have our brethren, the men of Judah, stolen thee away, and have brought the king and his household, and all David's men with him over Jordan? And all the men of Judah answered the men of Israel, The king is near of kin to us. Wherefore be ye angry for the matter? Think ye that we eat of the king's cost, or that we take us any gifts? And the men of Israel answered the men of Judah, and said, We have 10 parts in the king, and have thereto more right to David than ye. Why then did ye despise us, that our advice should not be first had in restoring our king again? And the words of the men of Judah were fiercer than the words of the men of Israel. The 20th chapter. Seba the son of Bichri raiseth Israel against David. Joab killeth Amasa traitorously. The head of Seba is delivered to Joab. David's receivers are numbered. The 20th chapter. When there came thither a certain man of Belial, named Seba, the son of Bichri, a man of Gemini, he blew a trumpet and said, We have no part in David, neither have we inheritance in the son of Isai. Let the men of Israel depart unto their tents. And so every man of Israel went from David, and followed Seba the son of Bichri. But the men of Judah clave fast unto their king, from Jordan to Jerusalem. And David came to his house to Jerusalem, and took the 10 women his concubines that he had left behind him to keep the house, and put them in ward, and fed them, but lay no more with them. And so they were enclosed unto the day of their death, living in widowhood. Then said the king to Amasa, Call me the men of Judah together against the 3rd day, and be thou here also. And so Amasa went to gather the men of Judah together, but tarried longer than the time which he had appointed him. And David said to Abishai, Now shall Seba the son of Bichri do us more harm than did Absalom. Take thou therefore thy lord's servants, and follow after him, lest he get him walled cities, and escape us. And there went out after him Joab's men, and the Cretites, and the Pheletites, and all the mightiest men. And they departed out of Jerusalem to follow after Seba the son of Bichri. And when they were at the great stone in Gibeon, Amasa went before them. And Joab's garment that he had about him was girt unto him, and he had girded thereon a knife, which was joined fast to his loins, in such a sheath, that as he went it fell sometimes out. And Joab said to Amasa, Art thou in health, my brother? And Joab took Amasa by the chin with the right hand to kiss him. But Amasa took no heed to the knife that was in Joab's hand, for therewith he smote him in the short ribs, and shed out his bowels to the ground, and thrust at him no more, and he died. So Joab and Abishai his brother followed after Seba the son of Bichri. And one of Joab's men stood by him, and said, He that beareth any favour to Joab, or good will to David, let him go after Joab. And Amasa lay wallowed in blood in the midst of the way. And there was a man, which when he saw that all the people stood still, he rolled Amasa out of the way into the field, and cast a cloth upon him, because he saw that every one that came stood still by him. And as soon as he was tumbled out of the way, all the people went after Joab, to follow after Seba the son of Bichri. And he went through all the tribes of Israel, unto Abel, and to Bethmaachah, and all the places of Barim. And they gathered together, and went after him. And they came, and besieged him in Abel, and in Bethmaachah. And they cast up a bank against the city that stood in the valley. All the people that was with Joab thrust at the wall, to overthrow it. Then cried a wise woman out of the city, Hear, hear, did Joab come hither, that I may speak with him? When Joab was come unto her, the woman said, Art thou Joab? He answered, I am he. She said unto him, Hear the words of thy handmaid. And he answered, I do hear. And she said again, They spake in the old time, saying, Men must ask peace first. How much rather should they so do to Abel? For so have they continued hitherto. I am one of them that are peaceable and faithful in Israel. And thou goest about to destroy a city and a mother in Israel. Why wilt thou devour the inheritance of the Lord? And Joab answered and said, God forbid it me, that I should either devour or destroy. The matter is not so, but a man of Mount Ephraim, Seba the son of Bichri by name, hath lifted up his hand against the king, even against David. Deliver us him only, and I will depart from the city. And the woman said unto Joab, Behold, his head shall be thrown to thee over the wall. And then the woman went unto all the people with her wisdom. And they smote off the head of Seba the son of Bichri, and cast it out to Joab. And he blew a trumpet, and they scattered from the city, every man to his tent. And Joab returned to Jerusalem unto the king. Joab was over all the host of Israel, and Benaiah the son of Jehoiada was over the Cretites and Felitites, and Adoram was over the tribute, and Jehoshaphat the son of Ahilud was recorder. Seba was scribe, and Sadok and Abiatar were the priests, and Ira the Jairite was David's priest.